Hornung, Vice President of Silver Companies. First of all, I did want to thank the county for working on design standards. I think just about everybody here would agree that attempting to make the county more attractive for everybody is a good goal and something that everybody should pursue. When we do our development projects, we have proffered a lot of design standards. It's things that we do voluntarily through the proper system. At Cosner's Corner and Harrison Crossing, we agreed to a number of design standards. We're also in a situation where we're investing millions of dollars into development, and we are voluntarily agreeing to do that at that point, and it's included in our form of what we're going to make and how we're going to generate revenue for the project. We're also getting significantly higher rents in those areas where we're agreeing to do design standards than other parts of the county that are listed in the HCODS. In some cases, more than double what you're getting in other areas. And with the rising construction costs that we've seen over the last couple of years, what we're seeing is it becomes more and more difficult to develop in those areas that are not in that core, where you're not very well funded, where you can't come in and do massive road improvements. So one of our initial concerns is that on areas where they're being proffered, we think it's great to require, or even to require proffers that have design standards. Requiring the same sort of thing countywide is a disproportionate impact on smaller businesses and people that are in areas that are not getting those same types of revenues. We have seen that the design standards do increase costs. Most of what we're dealing with are national tenants, and I thought it kind of interesting that one of the exhibits you showed, the only picture of any of our projects was up there was what not to do, which was Rob's Car Wash. That was the only small business in that entire development. Everybody else is a national tenant. So the national tenants agreed to do it. The small business needed that kind of recognition, needed people to be able to see that they were there. That's why they have a bigger sign, and many people may say that's unattractive. It's not the most attractive sign in the world, but for him and for his business to make it work, that's what he needed in order to get people to come in there. The other major concern that we have is the interpretation of the standards. Today we could sit down and look at a project and say, yes, this meets it. But what we have found over the years is that requirements don't seem to ever lessen. They just continue to add up. It starts with core permits, all the way through zoning, all the way through site plan approvals and building permit approval. Every year, requirements get larger and larger, or more and more restrictive of what you can and can't do. It could be interpreted today one way, and then later it seems, a lot of these seem very subjective. Even in the past year, some of the things that we found in the code that were interpreted one way are now being interpreted differently, probably more correct now. The general business practice prior to that was that certain things were okay and now they're no longer allowed. And so someone can determine that they don't like the internal circulation of a parking lot and deny you and give you a 0 instead of a 1, and you're basically dealing with a single individual, from my understanding, who will have to go through an appeal process to get someone else to understand that you feel that you've met the requirement. So from our standpoint, we certainly are willing to do design standards on our projects. At face value, what the county is doing is, in our opinion, is a good thing, but at the same time, the negative impact on other business people that are in the county that want to expand, want to add, even your 20% rule, if you're in a rural area and you want to add on, the additional cost of the design standards could prevent somebody from making that decision to upgrade or modify their building. And I don't think that's really the intent of what we're trying to get at.